on by all the coaches in the Franklin North. This year's all-league recipients were Molly Cleveland, Tanner Fabro, and Emily Casella. All right, we have 3 individual awards to hand out. We have the Sportsmanship Award, which is actually an MIAA award, the Award of Excellence. It's presented to a student athlete for their exemplary display of sportsmanship, ethics, and integrity. I think this year's recipient meets that criteria. She's a hard worker, never talked trash to an opponent, did whatever I asked of her, whatever coach asked of her, and embodies what this award is about. This year's Sportsmanship Award goes to Callie Silson. The next award is the Coaches Award, and this is, kind of talked about, voted on by the 2 coaches. And it's given, how I describe it, it's given to the player who best exemplifies the values of the coaching staff, one who's a role model to the other players. No matter what I asked of her, she would do it. She's a tough kid, as I mentioned before, uses her physicality to the correct way. I'm not sure too many kids play harder than she does on both ends of the court. And we were fortunate enough to have her for a couple more years. This year's Coaches Award goes to Julia Carey. The last award is the MVP award. As a coach, this has probably been the toughest award to ever give out. It's always tough when you play a team sport to single out one player. But when I I had conversations with Coach about who he thought it should be, I kind of stepped back and I thought about who it should be. And I thought it's somebody who stepped up the most when the team needed it the most. Here's the reasoning behind this year's MVP. So she scored 17 of a career-high 21 in a first-half win, in the win over Maher. Then we go to South Hadley, 3-point game after 3 quarters. She goes 8 for 8 in the 4th quarter from a free throw line. We end up winning by 16. But nothing gets bigger than when the lights are the brightest, and that's in the tournament. We host Southwick. She had a team-high 20 points, including 13 in the 3rd quarter, to put that game out of reach. And arguably the biggest game of the season. She stepped up in overtime and did something I didn't ask of her all year, and I asked her to handle the ball. She drew that big girl that Kiki drew. And she put in 7 of her 15 points in that overtime. Huge and one that put us from being down 2 to up 1. We never trailed again. And against Granby, I think, part of our offensive struggles was she was in foul trouble the whole time and spent most of the time on the bench. For the season, she was 2nd on the team in points and led the team in rebounds, 4th in steals. This year's MVP is Emily Casella. Anybody, the girls that won the all-league and the 3 individual awards, I need you guys don't leave because